Hi everyone, Darren here, fitness director of the San Luis Obispo Country Club. Today I'd like to go over a routine with an exercise band on a fixed point. Now in a perfect world we would have a pole or something that we can wrap the band around that won't move. But we don't always have that luxury in a house. So the next best option is a door. Most bands have attached to it a little door wedge. All right, that's what this is for, okay? And what's really great is if you don't have that luxury of a pole, you can open up a whole series of exercises just by using a door. Now, a couple things if you're going to use a door. First, in a perfect world, the door would actually close towards you. That way, the whole door jamb supports you. Now, if you don't, like in my case, I don't have that luxury, at least in this room, to you having a door that closes toward me. This one actually opens towards me. So a couple of precautionary things. First, I like to put a sign on the door saying workout in progress, all right? This is gonna let somebody know that you're doing something in here and you don't want them to open this door. Because if they did and you're pulling back on this, this door will just fly open and who knows where you'll end up. So now the second thing that's important is that when you put this over the door, in this case, we're going to be using the top part of the door for the first two exercises, that the door completely closes and you hear that latch. You're going to also test it and make sure that you don't see a lot of bowing in the door. If you do, you can slide this over to where the anchor point is above the hinge area. The hinges here will help prevent that door from bowing. Okay, I've got a pretty strong door here, so I don't have a problem, but always check that, all right? Really important. Okay, so the exercises we're gonna do today, there are gonna be 3 that focus on mobility, 3 on strength, and then the last one's a great core exercise. All right, so mobility. Why do we do mobility? Mobility is because we all need it. It's a great warm-up. It can also be that routine that you do, say if you've done a real hard workout and you just need to strengthen and stretch some stuff in a lower key position, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into our straddle position. We're gonna go with right foot forward and I'm gonna bring the hands so they're shoulder height, okay? Straight out in front. And I want the palms kind of pointed at each other. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down to our lunge position. And as we're going into our lunge position, we're dropping that back knee towards the ground. And then I want to open up my hands and point my thumbs behind you. Feel the stretch in the chest. And then you're gonna come up and close it. Take it down and up. Take it down and up. Now, in a perfect world, what I'd like to do is if you're starting out 8 to 10 on one side, and then, or if you're looking for more advanced, you can take this up to 20 repetitions. So now the second part of it is like to switch my feet up. This is the second exercise. And instead of now having the hands go out wide, we're gonna go above us. So we're gonna go kind of in that warrior pose position. So again, straddle position, take that back knee, drop it behind you, bring those hands back. And you should feel the stretch. Now what you don't wanna do is lean forward. I wanna keep my shoulder above my hip. And if you look at unfortunately you can't see my back knee, but my back knee is right below my right hip, okay? And I come up, and then we come right back. So take it down and up. And what you're really trying to also do is push down on that bottom or that front heel, okay? So that heel, you're not trying to go off your toe, but really try to sit back on that heel as you come down and come up, all right? Now the next one for mobility, or the third one, the mobility, is kind of it's like an over-the-shoulder row with an uppercut punch. Sounds more complicated than it is. What we want to do is we want to be just back enough to where we feel a little bit of tension. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go to an overhead row with our right arm. So my elbow goes above my shoulder, and I'm actually looking right down the line. And then I'm going to uppercut. And if you look at my position right now, my hands are reaching up and my hips are turned, and I'm pivoting on my back foot. And then we're gonna come back. And again, so it's row, reach, row, reach, row, reach, row, reach. And I'm rowing above that shoulder, reach. And then we're gonna switch sides. So again, this time, left elbow goes up, reach with that right hand. Row, reach. Make sure you're pivoting the hips, pivoting on that back foot. And so that you almost end up with your shoulders perpendicular to the door. All right? So 3 mobility exercises. We've got our lunge fly, our lunge overhead, and then we've got our row, punch, rotation. All right? Now our strengthening exercises. This time we're going to move the anchor point to about chest high on the door. Okay? Now the first one we're going to do is, you can call it a reverse, a step back lunge, or a reverse squat. Up to you. Now what I like to do is bring the handles, put them right against the rib cage, and you want to back up enough to where you feel some tension on the strap. There shouldn't be so much that's pulling you forward, because there is a balance component with this. Now we're going to bring our left knee up, and you're going to step back, stretch it out, go to that row, or that nice long arm, and then come up. And notice I'm pulling it, or I'm going to that row position. As I'm going to that row position, I'm lifting the left knee all the way up into a good stand, nice tall position. And so again, beginners, 8 to 10 on one side, switch. More advanced, work it up to 20 repetitions one side, and then we just switch sides. All right, so again, against the rib cage, this time, right knee's up, step back, let the band stretch you, take it up. Okay? Next one is our chest press. Now this is where I like to kind of play with the band tension a little bit. What you're gonna find out is as you press out, you get more tension out here, not a lot at the beginning, okay? So what we're gonna do is I wanna come forward enough to where I can reach all the way out and then come back. And I'm in a straddle position. I don't wanna be leaning forward. I wanna make sure my weight is on my back foot, my chest is up, my elbows are up, shoulder height, and I'm gonna reach and come back. We're gonna do 5 of these. 3, 4, and 5. Now we're gonna do some pulses. So now what I do is I wanna do a half step or a full step forward, and we're gonna do 10 half presses. 1. So you're working that tension in that bottom half of the move, something that we missed on that first 5. So again, we got our 10 here, so this is 8, 9, 10, and then we're going to take a half step back and then preach all the way through. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that's giving us tension, or at least a complete feeling of tension through the whole range of motion. The first 5, we're actually working that long extended position. The next 10, we're working that bottom half, and then we finish off with that full range of motion to get that last 5 in. Now again, 20 reps sounds like a lot. Work with it. Start with 2 sets. Work yourself up to 2 to 3, 3 to 4, okay? Great chest exercise. Now we're gonna do the complete opposite. We're gonna do a high row. This time we're gonna get into a nice squat stance, okay? So our heels are gonna be about hip width apart, nice and tall. And you wanna sit into it just a little bit. Don't get down too deep. You can, but your legs are gonna get on fire pretty quick. So kind of a soft knee. Arms are extended, palms are pointed to the ground. And the key with this is a high row. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing my elbow up to shoulder height, and I want my hand not to come in, but to stay not here at the shoulder, but out with the elbow. Okay, so I'm coming out. So we're gonna start here, And we're going to again do 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, and you're going to feel the tension at this last little half right here. 4 and 5. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to extend. We're going to take that step back, and now we're going to do our 10 just to halfway. 1, 2, keep that head up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do that half step forward, and again, finish off with 5. 4. And again, that allowed us to get tension through the whole movement, okay? All right, the last exercise I want to show you is a core exercise. This is one of my favorite because, again, it works on getting you to engage this as a key stabilizer. What we're going to do is you're going to take both hands in your right hand, both handles in your right hand, and then I want you to take your left hand and go right over your other hand. So left goes over the right. Start it at chest. And you want to come out just enough to where you feel a little bit of tension, okay? And now the key is you're going to reach straight out, and then you're going to lift up, come back down, and come back. So again, it's out, up, down, and back. Now what's going to happen is you're going to feel this thing trying to pull you. So what I don't want to see is 3 things. One is I don't want to see your hands go over here. So as you're coming out, we don't want that. We also don't want you to lean as you're reaching out, okay? You want to be good and stable. And then the last is as you're reaching up, I want to see those hands straight above your head, not off to the side. If this is hard enough right now, start with just that little arm extension and then add the overhead, okay? This one you're going to feel all working that whole midsection, and then what we do is we turn and do the other side. Beginners, 8 to 10 of these. People intermediate, 10 to 20. It's about finding a routine that works for you, and that's what we're trying to do. So again, if you have any questions, please email me, fitness@slocc.net, or see you next time. Stay safe out there.